Good morning and welcome to the Daily Cyber Briefing for Friday, the 7th of February. I'm Stephen Ridgway. Yesterday we talked about the use of remote access software by malicious groups. There's another one that's cropped up today. Simple Help RMM has got flaws that allow for persistent access and the introduction of ransomware. Simple Help's remote monitoring and management software, which again is a legitimate tool used for what it says on the tin, I suppose. Remote monitoring and management. There are vulnerabilities which allow for the takeover of devices by malicious actors or threat groups. There is a campaign that has been spotted in the wild at the moment, exploiting these vulnerabilities. So if you are using Simple Help RMM, recommend you check for updates. There are updates to versions 5.3, 5.4 and 5.5, all of which were released in January. So if you have not updated already, would very much recommend that you upgrade ASAP for those to deal with those vulnerabilities. Also in the vulnerability space, Hewlett-Packard Enterprise, HPE, has issued a high-priority security bulletin addressing multiple vulnerabilities in Aruba ClearPass Policy Manager. Aruba ClearPass Policy Manager, for those that don't know, is part of the Aruba suite that deals with policies based around zero trust. Assists with sort of hybrid workplace initiatives, IoT devices, edge computing, all sorts of other bits and pieces. There is a vulnerability, or in fact, there are various vulnerabilities. Three or four of them, 5 of them even, are currently currently have been patched, in fact, by HPE. Most importantly, there's an authenticated broken access control vulnerability, CVE 2025-23058, with a CVSS score of 8.8. There's also a Postgres SQL relation manipulation vulnerability, CVE 2024-7348, which has got a CVSS score of 7.5. So a couple of high severity vulnerabilities that have been fixed there. There are various other vulnerabilities as well. However, there are versions, so patches are available. If you are running version 6.12 up to 6.12.3 or 6.11 up to 6.11.9, then you are vulnerable to these. You are susceptible to these vulnerabilities being exploited. So as always, the answer is patch. Okay, on other matters, millions of smartphone location coordinates appear to have been stolen, which has triggered yet another lawsuit in the US again, against a data broker. Now, why does this matter? Well, most of us are not in the States and have not had our locations being sold on to data broker. This particular data broker is Gravy Analytics. Gravy, which sounds more like they've come from the north of England. I'm going to get in so much trouble for that than California, which I think is where they're actually based. But there we are. it appears that the data broker has not been securing the coordinates in an S3 buckets or various S3 buckets, and something like 17 terabytes of records have been stolen. So why does it matter? Well, it mainly matters, I think, to most of us because we carry around these remote surveillance devices in our pockets. People have said it before, but um, just be aware of the fact that they are tracking where you are all the time and sending that stuff back. You possibly, I don't know whether in the States people are more aware of the fact that everything that's on your phone is being sold to data brokers that then sell it on to pretty much the highest bidder without any regulation, without any due care for any regulation. I don't know. Well, it's certainly in the UK, I think we will probably, most people are not, it's not in the forefront of their minds that everywhere they go is made available to anybody who chooses to buy the data, which that's kind of not what you would expect. And probably there'll be an argument that, well, because everybody, of course, is compliant with GDPR, that isn't happening over here. Bet it bloody is. So yeah, just be aware of the fact that everything that you do on your mobile phones is potentially being sold on to data brokers. The data brokers sell it on to other third parties. You have very, very little, if any, control over what happens to this data. You may not care if people are tracking where you are, or you may possibly care that if you've gone on holiday, that criminal groups know that you're not at home. Interesting one. Think about it. And then finally from me today, DeepSeek article of the day. It turns out that the DeepSeek iOS app is leaking data to ByteDance servers without encryption. So there's so much to unpack in this one. So ByteDance, the owners of TikTok, are I think it wouldn't be unfair to say that they are a Chinese government espionage department. I've surely got my tin hat on today. But yes, ByteDance busily collecting as much information about everybody as they can possibly gather and storing it up for the Chinese security forces or military to use at their leisure in the future. So that's not a good thing. And the second thing is, if they're sending this stuff unencrypted, well, pretty much anybody else who's got access to a network can have a look at this stuff anyway. So some research has been done into DeepSeek's iOS app, and the findings are basically unencrypted data transmission, hard-coded and weak encryption, insecure data storage, aggressive data collection, and the data is now known to be sent to and stored on ByteDance servers in China. So add that to your risk assessment for whether DeepSeek is the AI LLM that you want to be using in your organization. If you're happy with these things, then good on you. I wish you all the best. So that's all from me for today. It's also all from me even for this week. Hope you've had a good